Welcome to the Phoenix Prosperity Podcast, where wealth meets legacy. Join your host, Tim Fergestad, as we explore the journeys of Phoenix's finest to success and beyond.
All right. Hello, this is Tim Fergestad. Thank you for joining us. Today's guest is Adam Perkins, a mental health care executive who spent nearly 2 decades proving that strong systems, strong leadership, and human-centered care can grow together. Welcome to the show, Adam.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. You're enjoying a nice Arizona night outside there.
I am. Yep. Perfect motorcycle weather.
Excellent. Very cool. Very cool. All right, Adam, why don't you give us a snapshot of what you're doing? You're down in Tucson, right?
Yeah, I am the chief operating officer for Sierra Tucson, which is a rehab facility down there, and just really loving it. They've been in business for about 40 years, and it's just a great opportunity to kind of stand on the shoulders of giants, as we like to say, and the people and leaders that have been there before us, and just kind of help to move that Sierra Tucson story along. So very grateful to be there.
Okay, excellent. What are some of the challenges they brought you in for?
Well, I think like larger or long-term organizations do, they kind of get stuck in some thinking patterns over time and the way we've always done it. And in this changing market, you got to be a little bit more nimble and kind of pull up the roots a little bit and be able to make adjustments as needed. And so we've been able to do that. There's been quite a few changes in the way that we run the operation, the kind of payer types that we've been working with over the last few years. So lots of changes and all good. You know, we're definitely trimming the sails, as we like to say, and staying nimble and moving forward.
Okay. What are some of the other bigger challenges you've had before that position? And maybe something in your career that was particularly educational?
Yeah. I would say, early in my career, I started out as a behavioral health technician at the Oregon State Hospital. And one day we had kind of a patient who was super upset. And, I had just left the shift 12 hours before, and we didn't know what had happened in 12 hours to make him so upset. And what had ended up happening in a nutshell was security had come in to search the unit and ended up breaking his dentures in the security searches. And rightfully so, he was upset. Mm-hmm. And it just got me to thinking, now that we've got to deal with this guy who's super upset and violent, like there's got to be a better way. And so that was kind of like my first recollection of spark of how do we do this better? There's got to be a better way. So I started reading policies and kind of getting into training and looking at, how things could have been and how we can make them better. And I've been trying to do that ever since.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
I have some experience in sort of the care home, more like assisted living, memory care stuff, and different levels of, who is it? Teepus, no? Is she are you familiar with her? She's up from the Pacific Northwest. Anyway, she has a whole training protocol on how to help. I think it's more like memory care and stuff. Just the way you approach people and how you to help mitigate their or not mitigate, but not aggravate them, right? Ways of presenting yourself and so forth.
Yes.
Is that a lot of training on that type of those aspects in the mental health care space?
Absolutely. At the end of the day, we're people helping people, and understanding that a lot of our patients, our clients, if you will, are going through some of the hardest times in their lives. And we're there to help support them through that, not only through our medical interventions, our clinical interventions, but just our human interactions. At the end of the day, they're living on site a lot of times, whether that's by choice or not. And, I could also say I've got kind of a long history in correctional healthcare as well. And so in that aspect, respect is everything, and how you treat people and how you approach them. And yeah, it's a real thing.
Sure. Okay. So, How did you do you have any other aspects to your origin story being in the mental health care leading space?
I could say my wife got me into it. That's for sure. I didn't know. I don't have a family history of mental health necessarily, like so many people do. And after my undergrad, my wife she was working as a nurse at the state hospital, and she said I should apply and be a BHA. And I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what a psychiatric hospital was. I didn't understand that world. And
But now you got to tell our listeners what BHA is.
oh yeah, BHA is a behavioral health associate or a
Okay.
behavioral health technician, but kind of our frontline staff that are working with the patients day in, day out, 12, 14-hour shifts every day. And they really are, they're the most important people in the facility because they have so much time with our patients.
Hmm.
So our nursing staff, our doctors, I mean, they all rely on their feedback and honestly their interventions. And so that's kind of how I started my career, kind of fell into it, if you will, but love it.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
That's got to be very impactful. I mean, it's a special type of person who can do that as well,
Yeah.
and you can see it firsthand. But also with what you're doing now, right? I mean, how many facilities are you guys, or how many rooms or residents or whatever you call it, how many lives are under your care right now as COO?
Yeah. So our facility is licensed for 184,
Okay.
and we run an average daily census of around 130 and fluctuates. People come and people go, and
Okay.
this program here at Sierra Tucson, it's a amazing program, but it runs around anywhere from 20 to 30 days or so for the life cycle. And of course, we have some people that stay for 30, 60, or even 90 days until they're ready to move on and kind of reintroduced into society. It just hopefully better off than when they came in, and that's our
All right.
goal.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Um, let's get back into the business side of it. What are some of the hurdles for 2026 for you
yeah,
at
yeah. We're looking at all aspects of the business. As the market has changed, as reimbursements have changed, insurance companies are a lot more prevalent in being able to treat people, and their ability to pay for this kind of residential treatment. And so how we work with the payers, that's a daily thing. How we document medical necessity and how we work with those patients and those residents to help to prove their medical necessity and make sure that they're getting the care that they're here for. We hate to see anybody kind of uproot their lives, maybe fly across the country and spend 20 or 30 days at our facility and feel like they're not getting kind of anything out of it. But we definitely want them to know that there's a better way. And so sorry, there's some traffic out here. But kind of the way one of the analogies I like to use is the switch tracks on a train. If you're going down life, you're going down your train track. We can offer maybe a 2-inch little change in perspective, and that can take you off into a completely new path.
right?
So
Okay. Nice. Nice.
yeah.
You said something there that made me wonder, where are most of people getting rehab there from? Are they all Arizonans, or what percentage are?
I'd say maybe 20 to 30% are from Arizona
Oh,
here
really?
locally, but most of them are from the rest of the parts of the country.
Oh,
We literally have California, Washington, New York, New Jersey, Florida, Georgia. I mean, they really do. They come from all walks of life, and
okay.
we have our doors open for them.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. And well, so are you the biggest one in Tucson?
I think in Tucson, probably we're probably one of the bigger ones. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. I wasn't sure if,
yeah,
because I hear of people going to, nice warm places for rehab or something, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I wasn't sure if there's like a whole bunch of them down there in Tucson or not.
And not necessarily.
Okay. Okay. Is there competition in the space?
There is definitely competition, and something that we're keen to, of course. Um, but I think one of the greatest things that we have for going on with Sierra Tucson is our history and the fact that we've been in this space for 40 years now, 41 years.
Okay.
And we're certainly one of the longest term type of residential care facilities in the country. So we definitely cater to that.
Okay. Okay. So it sort of sets you guys, Sierra Tucson apart.
Hmm.
Okay. Is Sierra Tucson part of a bigger system? Is other Sierra something else?
Well, fortunately for us, there's only one Sierra Tucson, but we are owned by a parent company, of course, like so many others.
But is there one in California called Sierra something?
Oh, nope, nope,
No?
just
Okay.
us.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, that's all life-changing stuff that you get to be a part of there. That's awesome.
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Um, how do you, is in your current role, how much of it is business versus being amongst the staff and the people getting treatment?
Yeah, yeah. So I would say, fortunately for me, I get to spend most of my time with the staff.
Okay.
And fortunately for our CEO, Tim Pallas, he's brilliant. He gets to spend a lot of his time with the patients. And so between the two of us, we really try to balance each other out and support both sides of the system.
Okay.
One of the books I read years ago by Richard Bronson, I think that was called Business Strip Bare, but he talked about putting staff first, put your employees first, because if you do that and they're taken care of and they know their role and you're training and supporting them to do that, they're going to do what they're hired to do, and that's take care of the customer. And in
Right.
our case, that's the patient.
Right.
So,
Okay. Excellent. Yes, I've heard that before too. I think sometimes all service will fall down if the people working there are not secure, right?
that's
They
it.
don't know you have their back and all that.
That's right. Yeah,
Awesome.
psychological safety is a big thing, especially in this market. Um, we got a lot of really talented people working for us, and we have, and I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of very talented people over my career. And psychological safety is usually one of those things that comes down to, how are they being treated by the leadership? How do they perceive they're being treated? I mean, I might say, "Hey, I'm doing a great job," but you go and talk to the staff, they're like, "Wow, that guy's way off." So it's
Right.
like having a realistic perspective of how that interaction is going and being genuine with people. I think that's one of the greatest things that we can do.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. So in addition to, impact now that you're having in your position and the stuff you've done in the past, what are sort of your future goals?
Yeah. I mentioned earlier, I started out my career at the Oregon State Hospital as BHA, kind of frontline staff. And I've always had it in the back of my head to go back and run the place, be the superintendent. So
Okay.
maybe in the future, maybe after our kids are grown and maybe we want to go back to the Northwest.
Okay. That's cool. That's
So
cool. That'd be a cool, that'd be a nice legacy play, right?
I love it. Love it. Yeah.
Okay. So you have kids, huh?
Yeah. 4 kids. Oh,
Uh,
well.
you win. I got two. Okay. How
Oh,
old are
yeah.
yours?
I've got four of them. So Zach is 19 right now. He's out serving a mission for the church.
Oh, nice.
And then Logan is 15, turning 16 here pretty quickly. So he's working on, driver's ed and he's in jujitsu and just a great kid coming up. And then we've got our daughter Lily. She's 13. She'd kill me, maybe 14 now. I think she just turned 14 last month. And then Parker, he's our sweet potato. He's just a lover. He just loves everybody and just friendly with everybody. But he's 10 now.
Oh,
So,
sweet.
but they're
Excellent.
definitely keeping us busy.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. So,
Yeah.
going to stay in Arizona for a while before you go run the place back up in
Yeah.
Oregon?
Yeah. So we're definitely going to be here for a while. We're from the Northwest, my wife and I, and we're down here intentionally. She loves the heat. She loves the summer and the desert, of course. And then, of course, I get to ride my motorcycle year round. So I
Right.
think we'll probably be here for a while.
Yeah, I'm from Minnesota, and I think it'd be pretty hard to go back. Not a lot of people do. They start snowbirding and then they come down full
Yeah,
time. I don't. You rarely see it go the other way. Do you think that would be
right.
hard?
I love the Northwest. We've lived in Michigan, we lived in Oregon and Washington, Nevada, Montana, here in Arizona. So we've
Oh
moved around a
wow.
little bit.
Yeah, you've gotten
And
some good sampling.
yeah, and every part of the country is beautiful in its own way. I certainly wouldn't mind having a summer place up in the Northwest. So
Yeah, I was able to go up there and sail around the San Juans with a friend
oh yeah.
he was uh, born and raised on Orcas Island.
Yep.
That was beautiful. I hadn't really gotten to go up there and play before, and that was a real treat.
Yeah. Yeah, it is beautiful up there. I did my checkout dives up there for scuba diving. So,
How's visibility?
it has its good and bad days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite places to scuba dive up there is up in the Strait of Juan de Fuca out at Nia Bay. If you go all the way out to the tip of Washington State, Nia Bay
Okay.
is a little Indian reservation up there. And just
Okay.
off the coast to where the ocean comes in, it's just full of fish and life and it's just clarity. And, you can probably get 60 to 80 foot visibility down there.
Oh wow.
It's incredible.
Wow. Is that where I've seen like the big octopus and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. Big octopus up there. Yep.
Okay, I think I've seen
Halibut.
divers playing with them. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. Okay. Um, sorry, I'm all over the place tonight.
Yeah. No worries.
All right, Adam, thank you. Okay, so we talked sort of legacy plans, go back and run the place, and you got kids yet. Um,
Yeah,
very cool, very cool. Family values are important to you.
absolutely. Yeah, it's one of the, even when I was interviewing for this current role, I told them, it's like, they asked me, what do I like? Like, what's my hobbies? It's like, I know I used to have a lot of hobbies. Maybe motorcycling is a hobby, but being a dad is one of the most important things that I love doing every single day. I love coming home. I love roughing up the kids and seeing how their day was and, what can we build in the garage or work on or whatever, and just
Right,
being with them because I also know that this is a finite time in our lives that we have them. So,
for
and,
sure.
and, and pretty soon they're going to choose to either stick around or not. So want to soak up this time while we can.
Right. Okay, awesome.
So,
Yeah, my oldest just left for college. He's up there in Prescott at Embry-Riddle,
oh
and
yeah, love it.
he's doing good. It's just we miss him, and
Yes,
now
yes.
we're smothering our daughter who's 16. She's
Yeah,
trying to put
good,
up with it.
good.
All right, I like to ask people about impact they're having in the area. Your job already lets you have a lot of impact. You're changing
Mhm.
lives and helping people. Um, is there anything else that you besides your family and work and that you like you're doing here in Arizona?
Well, I am pretty active in the church, of course,
Okay.
and one of the one of the great things I get to do is just meet with people and go and visit them at their homes
Mhm.
and just get to know them. And we could consider that social networking, if you will, but we I try to take it from a perspective of kind of like Christ-like attributes, like how if Christ was here, like what would he do? And just being with the people,
Right.
and he wasn't only hanging out with saints, but he was hanging out with sinners, and
Yep.
so that's a good thing. It's just being with the people and trying to be a positive influence and help where you can, and try to emulate that. So that's something that I really enjoy doing.
Awesome. Amen, Adam. That's good
Yeah,
stuff.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you.
All right. So do you have any big plans for 2026 personally?
Um, you know, we have a lot going on at work, and I think that's a good thing. We've got a lot of big goals ahead of us, strategic missions that we're trying to execute on, and that will all be good. And work is work, and we all
Hmm.
have to do that. I think for me personally, kind of like I mentioned earlier, spending a lot of time with the family as much as I can because
Right.
family dynamics change, just like you and your son. He's gone off to college and the house has changed now.
Yep.
And we're kind of experiencing that ourselves a little bit. And so, with my son coming up, he's turning 16 here pretty quick. Trying to talk my wife into letting me buy his first motorcycle. And so if
How's
that
that going?
happens, well, hasn't happened yet, but I got my fingers crossed. But if that happens, I think I'd like to try to teach him to ride this year and maybe go take a motorcycle ride this summer. So
okay. A trip.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
yeah.
I still have an endorsement on my license, but when we had kids, my wife was like, "Yeah, no more."
Oh yeah. I understand. Yeah,
Anyway.
it's just this is something that I take big motorcycle trips in the summertime with my brothers, and we go up and we'll do 4,000 or 5,000 miles over a week, and just go hit Colorado and Utah, and
Beautiful.
I have it mapped out to get up to Jasper, up in or not even Jasper, but what was that Ice Fields Parkway up in Canada, and I've got it in my head that we can get up there in a couple of days and then take another week or two to toot around and get home, But
Oh, cool.
we'll see. That's kind of one of the bigger plans that I've got out there.
Awesome. That's a fun one. All right. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right,
Yeah.
Adam, a reflection question as we start wrapping things up here. What do you wish you would have known sooner about, wealth and success earlier in your career?
Um, I wish I would have really embraced relationships with people. And it's something in high school, I was a middle child. I'll just kind of start with that. So in high school, I did a lot of very individualized sports, like I was a pole vaulter and I was a wrestler, and
Okay.
just individual kind of performance related things
Right.
rather than having to rely on a team. And the thing that I kind of wish I would have embraced sooner was that team mentality. How can we collectively, we'll find our tribe, and what can we do as a team together? And so for a lot of years, I was just like headstrong and I can do it on my own. And, I've learned over time that it's a lot better to have a tribe around you.
Oh,
So,
yes, for sure. For sure. That's a good one. I haven't heard that one before, but um, I mean, it's a little bit of what we were talking about before we started the show, right? The context for for the podcast, a lot of it is networking, right? And
yeah.
that, I like to joke that back when you're in school and you ask your friends for help, they call it cheating.
Yeah.
But in the real world, right, that's really how you get things done is
That's right.
with help from your friends. So
That's right.
that's a good one. All right, Adam, if people like to connect with you or learn more, where can they go? What should they do?
Yeah. Well, I am definitely on LinkedIn, Adam Perkins. And I think I've got all my contact information on there, and try to kind of put up some pictures of what we're doing at work and supporting our staff and that kind of thing. So feel free to reach out.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening and watching. Thank you, Adam Perkins, for joining me
Thank
today
you.
and taking a little time off of your motorcycle ride.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Tim.
All right. Have a good night.
Inspired by our guests? Visit phoenixprosperitypodcast.com/guest and join us on the show and share your success story with Tim. The spotlight awaits.